Where's Lawrence today? He is in Boston, finding out how that city's dealing.
Hold on real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Let me shout out Black Freethinker. Make sure you guys show some love. Throw some radiation emoji in the chat. Throw some flames in the chat for Black Freethinker with the $5 super chat. Definitely appreciate it. Black Freethinker says, will it take Canada having to deploy troops to the U.S.-Canadian border for the geniuses running the United States government to wake up? That's a great question. What do you guys think about that in the comment section? I think that the United States government is so out of whack. If that were to happen, they would be more outraged by Canada doing that than by the actual problems that made Canada do that, which is a lot of how we see them dealing with things. You know what I'm saying?
With the massive increase in immigration, illegal immigration. It's taken over Logan Airport. They're now moved to other centers. Lawrence, there's a lot going on in Boston.
It's crazy out here, Brian. So after sleeping on the floor of Boston Logan International Airport, the migrants are on the move, taking over this recreation center in Roxbury behind me. The complex is a staple of the community for kids to play and seniors to exercise at low cost. Our next guest is not happy with the mayor as she's flooded with the calls from constituents, but she says that she's powerless. And it's up to the state. Join us now is the Democrat Boston City Council at large, Aaron Murphy. But first, we're going to go to Effie. Keisha, you were just on the street, and I saw your outrage. Yes. Why are you outraged?
Because this place was, like you said, it's free. It was a place for our children. I have 4 children, and it's sad. I have 4 boys, and we really don't have nothing in the community that's free for us. Don't get me wrong. It's great that they want to help the immigrants, but what about the Americans that are already here? What about the people that are already here that don't?
She SBEing. That SBE is crazy.
Have homes.
Oh man, that SBE cope is crazy. Hey, is that SBE? If y'all see SBE, give me a thumbs up in the comment section. If y'all don't see SBE, give me a thumbs down. I see SBE.
Have jobs that are sleeping on the street already. These people came from the airport here, probably on boats, probably on buses, and probably all for free. Now they're getting stipends. They're getting what else? I need money for me and my kids, and I was born here. I know life is a struggle in itself, but this is not the answer to help them. Now it's going to destroy our community more and mess our children up more. This is sad. I know a lot of people don't even know about this. I came here last night with my aunt, saw a lot of stadies, a lot of police, and this paper wasn't there yet. They just did this probably 2-3 in the morning when they brung them here. When everybody's asleep, that's when they brung them here probably.
I'm going to tell you guys something. I want people to take heed of what I'm saying. It's one of the problems when you have a government-owned, shout out to my man DeAndre, when you have a government-owned system, right? Like when you have like a community rec center, this is why it's important for people to have private businesses, man. Would y'all agree? See, if people would have put money together in those communities and created their own rec centers that they maintain and own on their own without the government can always take something and flip it. Always. They always will. They always do that. They'll even try to take the private enterprise, right? But at least to some degree, you still have more control over a private enterprise. When you allow the government to have control and domain over, whatever it is that you want or whatever you need, if you don't at some point if you don't assume that the government is going to double cross you, then you're playing Russian roulette. These people have been playing Russian roulette for a long time. And now there was actually something in the chamber and we got a problem. That's what we're looking at. What we're looking at is decades of Russian roulette. And now there's finally something in the chamber and there's a problem. That's what this is. You know what I mean? That's all this is. People, I'm telling y'all, man, the places that y'all work at, get with a coworker, start saving money, buy that place. Anything that's a government resource, try to buy it. Buy the stuff. Make it so that the government don't have so much stuff, because the government will take it and flip it. Just watch. It's only a matter of time before they clear out the projects and start putting migrants into the projects. They're going to clear out the projects, put migrants into the projects, and put all the people that live in the projects out on the street, and then talk about the criminality. It's just a matter of time before that happens. Buy the damn projects. You know what I'm saying?
On buses, I saw New York plates. I saw Washington, D.C. plates. So they have that much money to come from Washington, D.C. to do this, to do that. Why are they not helping the people here first?
Yes, ma'am.
Because they don't care, lady. They don't care. They don't care. Say it with me in the comment section. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. They care about what makes them the most money and what secures them the most power, which is what we should be concerned with. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. Fact. Shout out to my man DSB. They don't care. Like Stephen A. Smith, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? We don't care. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
We need help.
Let's talk to one of the counselors.
Yes.
Aaron, Ms. Murphy, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
When you hear the passion right here from
That's what I hear in my office all the time.
Shout out to Patrick Taylor. Patrick Taylor says, Rob, I have to push back a little bit. I live mostly in white cities growing up, and they had a public facilities. They won't take it from white communities. Right. That's not really a pushback, bro. I agree. That's why I'm saying we need to own our shit. It don't matter what goes on with the white communities. What we got to understand is that if we're gonna say these things, we got to understand that what goes on in the white community is different than what goes on with us. The government is not really attacking white communities. The government is the military arm of the white community. They're never going to do anything the same. Anytime they can do something, they're always going to put us in front of the bullet first. We cannot compare, like, to make these arguments of what's fair versus what's not. It doesn't even make any sense. If we're supposed to be taking care of us first, then for us to expect white people to take care of us before they take care of them is ridiculous, is absurd. Would you agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. Anybody who puts B1 in a chat, if you expect other people to not be W first, if you expect other people to not be A first, AAPI first, whatever, if you put that in a chat, right, and you think that you should be B1 and these other people shouldn't be their group first, I think that kind of defeats the purpose of what people are trying to do with that. You got to understand that these putting people first politics is one of the reasons why people play these games and lock out and block out other people from certain things. The comparative things, they don't matter. If we know that white people are going to get backed by every other group of people and that the government is not going to do these things to them, that makes it even more important for us to make sure that we own everything, because we got to have as much control over it as we can. We got to have as much control. We got to have as much power and as much control as we can. That's why they say America is the home of the free. The reason why America is the home of the free, because America controls everything. When you control everybody else, you have the ultimate freedom. That's the trick bag. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't disagree with you, bro. I don't think that you're pushing back, and I don't think that I'm disagreeing with you. I think that we just kind of we're saying what we're saying from a different perspective. But I agree with you that they're not going to take away from the white communities. As far as well, look at what else with the white communities, right? You grew up in a white community, probably didn't see a liquor store, probably didn't see very many fast food places, probably saw a lot of places like Whole Foods and Mustard Seed, right? Now, you know how you get to a black area as soon as you see Rallies, as soon as you see Kentucky Fried Chicken, as soon as you see Roscoe's Corner Store, as soon as you see Habibi's, as soon as you see a gyro restaurant. That's how you know you're in the black side of town. Anytime you see businesses that will openly sell food that will kill you, you know you're in the black side of town. A gyro with extra trans fat and sour cream on it. You know what I'm saying? You know that you're in the black side of town. You know what I'm saying? If you see liquor and lottery, any store that got the Pepsi sign on it, Y'all know the stores that I'm talking about, the old school stores, and they got the Pepsi on the Pepsi label on the store. Is the sign for the store up top has like the old plastic Pepsi or old plastic Coke logo on it, and it says lottery and beverages or deli and lottery. Anytime you see lottery and beverages or deli and lottery, you in the black area. You in the black area. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know if you go to any other state, if you go anywhere, if you've ever lived in the hood or spent any amount of time in the hood, you always know when you in the hood versus when you're not. Because as soon as you see places that say deli and lottery, check cashing, you know what I'm saying? Same day cash, when you see those Coca-Cola and Pepsi signs, you know you in the hood. You know you in the hood. They don't put that stuff in the white neighborhoods because the government is not trying to harm white people. Remember, the government advocates for black people to get abortions. The government advocates for you to eat shit. You know what I'm saying? The government advocates for you to not go to school, right? When it comes to white people, the government, the government advocates for fertility drugs, right? The government advocates for them to go to school. You know what I'm saying? And the government advocates for them to have good food by putting places like Whole Foods and mustard seeds in the neighborhoods. That's how you can tell. When you driving up and down the streets and you see places that don't have a Surgeon General warning on them, you know you're in a white neighborhood. When you go to a neighborhood and everything that you eat, you heard something about giving you cancer or causing you problems, you know you're in a black neighborhood because that's what that's there for. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man, Patrick Taylor. Patrick Taylor said, no rallies, Rob. Even when black owned things, they took it. Man, I love rallies, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I messed up from all my time in the hood. I love rallies. I love rallies fries. I love funnel cake fries. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, you gotta be aware of your surroundings though. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna put that stuff in the white neighborhood. That's one of the reasons you see the pawn shops. That's what I'm saying. The check cash in place. You know what I'm saying? This is Habibi's check cashing, and you go in there, and the foreign dude work in there. Like that, you already know. If you see I've never seen Vallejo gas stations in good white neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you see a Vallejo's gas station, it's always in the absolute worst part of town. At least here in the state that I live in. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all have a Vallejo's where y'all at? Now, see, when I went to Florida, I've never seen a nice Popeyes, but they actually had nice Popeyes down there. It was wild. You know what I'm saying? Here, where I live at, the Popeyes is in the hood and they're ratchet. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's this gas station chain called Vallejo's. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Mr. King. Here, those are always in the worst area. I mean, when I tell you the worst areas, the areas that are beyond the hood. Like, there's the hood, right? And everybody knows what the hood is. The hood ain't necessarily bad, though. I'm talking about them areas that are, like, beyond the hood. Like, where it should say, welcome to Skull and Crossbones Corporation Limit. Not, like, the city name. You know what I'm saying? That's where the Valeros are here. You know what I'm saying?
And it is a balance. Like I was telling you earlier, the state owns this building, so the governor has to make a decision on where to put the overflow migrants. But at the same time, the community needs to make sure that that we keep their services in place.
Why would they declare Boston as a sanctuary city?
That's a great question. I'm gonna ask y'all that. Oh yeah. You said it's called Checkers? Not right. Yeah, well, Checkers, they the same company, but I think when rallies is not on the East Coast, it's called Checkers in some places. I think it's called Checkers in the East Coast too. One of my homies used to live in the DMV. He used to live in Silver Springs, Maryland, and I think that it was called Checkers down there too. I think they got Checkers out in California. I think that's what it's called out there.
I mean, I think a lot of cities across this country once they declare themselves a sanctuary city, I'm not sure if they knew the amount of support we were going to need to give.
I know you're a Democrat, but do you think declaring cities as sanctuaries was a mistake in retrospect?
looking back, if our communities end up losing the services they need to live full lives, I think we may be questioning that.
So see, this is what let me ask y'all this question, man. What do y'all think about these people now going back on the sanctuary cities? What do y'all think about it? You guys, as you guys can see, shout out to Tone. What's good with it, bro? As you guys can see, everybody's now starting to see that these sanctuary cities, like, this is not the business. So now what you're seeing is we're really seeing a lot of the Democrats make a hard right on this. You know what I'm saying? They're changing their positions. And shout out to y'all. We got 41 people watching and we got 40 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us to 70, that'd be great.
We do have to find a balance to make sure that these migrant families have a safe place to go. But at the same time, my concern, I'm an elected official here. I represent the whole city, and I'm the chair of public health in the last 2 years in homelessness. And I've centered my advocacy and policy on making sure that every resident has the resources they need. And I'm hearing that seniors and kids, like Effie was just telling us, that her own family, right, might be disrupted. So I'm making sure that the city is stepping up and connecting with all the departments so that these displaced, residents who use this every day.
Let's bring Keisha back in here. Keisha, you hear that from your counselor. What do you want done right now?
Like she said, we want to help them, but at the same time,
She said they want to help them. Now you got to make a decision. You either want to help yourself or you want to help this situation here. So see, what happens is, now I want people to pay attention. This propaganda has people so confused that they don't know whether to help themselves first. They don't know whether to help themselves first or to help somebody else. You need to help yourself. That's the most important thing. That is always the most important thing. The most important thing is to make sure that you take care of your survival first and foremost. And then if there's extra, then you deal with the extra. It shouldn't be, a real thought-provoking situation. You should just be able to easily answer that question. You know what I'm saying? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down.
what about us that need help here? What about, I'm a mother and I have 4 children. They need help. They need somewhere to go. They need something to do.
What type of activities used to be in this building?
Skating ring, exercising, like a place where you can just go chill and stay out of trouble. Now we have to find other places.
What's going to be the consequence of this being changed and just to migrants? And where are those kids going to go right now?
Probably to the streets. Where most of them are already at. Like when we look for help, it seems like the state and the governor and them people, they push us away.